Hey everyone, it's Enryu and welcome back to another video. In today's game, we're going to be playing in PvE. We're going to continue testing new items such as Galeforce as well as Yumu's. For this game specifically, we're going to be going Galeforce, and the runes that I have chosen are meant to go this Galeforce build. So, I didn't like Galeforce before. Why suddenly do I want to go Galeforce after the item changes? Well, Riot changed Galeforce so that it now builds out of Zeal, and because our main item components in the early game for a power spike is Dirk plus Zeal, it actually makes more sense for us to go Galeforce now because of the removal of the Prowler's Claw dash. Galeforce being our only dash available. With this new build path, it actually kind of helps us. We're no longer just sitting on a Zeal in the early game, which was okay before, but now it's just even better, right? If we buy Dirk into a Zeal, we can build it into Galeforce and then Collector. So I was forced to back because I made a small mistake that let Pantheon just put me at 1 HP and they almost killed me. But I was able to come back to lane, and then, I killed Enryu because he was caught off guard by me just ghosting at him. And now I am caught off guard by this Pantheon coming at me. So we can't kill him, I think, but we got good damage on him, and we were able to... Actually, we have to push this wave in. So yeah, this lane is going well for us so far. The level 1 mistake was made up by the Ezreal overextending. Unfortunately though, with the new Galeforce build, we actually cannot take inspiration. We need the cooldown on the Galeforce with Ingenious Hunter, right? In later stages of the game, we can reduce the 90-second cooldown to maybe like 45-50 seconds. So why do we go Ingenious Hunter instead of, Inspiration when we go Galeforce? Well, that is because Galeforce and Prowlers are very similar in the sense that they both have dashes, but in terms of actual usage, it's very different. In Prowlers, you could use it as a engage tool. It has damage amplification and it has a lock-on dash, but Galeforce is meant to be used as an execute item, right? Yes, you have a dash, but you will not be using the item to its full extent if you are using it simply to engage rather than a finishing move or execution item. So basically, rather than pairing it up with our ultimate, Galeforce has a more general use that we can take advantage of even without our ultimate, which makes it good for us to take Ingenious Hunter, which basically lowers our item cooldown by 50%, or rather 50 haste, and that converts to something like maybe 40% item cooldown. So instead of 90 seconds on Galeforce, we're going to be having like 45 maybe. And this is big because the more often we have Galeforce, the more often we can just try to get a kill or even execute an enemy. And this helps us snowball, especially with Collector. So we actually now have Galeforce. It took us 13 minutes of farming and, a few kills to get it. And now we're actually online. And if you see in the description, it says that we can deal a total of 220 physical damage, increased to 352, depending on how low they are in health. And so Galeforce now does physical damage, and it also scales with crit, which is just perfect for Nilah. So yeah, as you can see, Galeforce actually has a very different usage from Prowler's Claw. You can use it to engage, but you can use it to surprise enemies and just have like just enough damage to kill them. So I would say that the downside of this build is the fact that we can't go Inspiration, we can't take free boots, as well as we can't take free boots, and we also cannot take Futures Market, which kind of hurts our scaling and economy by a little bit. But as long as you get to the point where you actually get your power spike item without, just randomly dying, then we are still at a good spot. So why is it that it's actually good for us if we survive until we get Galeforce? Because Galeforce is a dash that counts as an execute, we are able to get more kills especially with the Ingenious Hunter cooldown on our Galeforce. You know, the gold that we didn't get to use with free boots as well as Futures Market, you know, we actually have to buy boots now. For this game, you know, they have a lot of AD members, so I just went tabbies. So I would say that is the downside of going this build. But in terms of damage and scaling, I would say this build is still fine. Okay, as you can see, we actually still have damage when it comes to our auto as well as Q. So currently at 2 items plus a crit cloak, our Galeforce does a total of 408 damage, increased up to 652 based off of the enemy health, which I think is probably a huge improvement than the old Galeforce. I think the old Galeforce would never do this much damage, mainly because it didn't scale with crit chance. So now let's try to test it out on this Vayne. So she's full health. I'm gonna try and see if I can one-shot her like I would if I had the lethality build. Okay, so we can still one-shot champions like Vayne, right? I'll say that the damage is pretty respectable. Like the damage isn't that different from the Prowler's Claw damage, and we can see that Galeforce is actually pretty useful when it comes to gap closing in fights like that. So now we're gonna buy LDR, which is our, you know, our third power spike item. And for our fourth item, I really want to stress that the new Bloodthirster is extremely overpowered in its current state. In exchange for Riot removing the shield, it now gives 18% life steal, which is just crazy because it's 18% in one item. And it's also a scaling offensive item now. You know, while we're above 50% health, we gain an additional 10 to 40 damage. And at this point in the game, it will probably give me like 30, I think, 30 AD, which I think is crazy. You're getting this many stats all for an item that costs 3,200. And I know there are going to be questions for Shield Bow, you know, I've definitely been asked, like, the new Shield Bow is not a mythic anymore. It's like, it's good, right? It has to be good. But the answer is actually no. Shield Bow is really weak of an item. Its shield is on a 90-second cooldown, and also the life steal is 7%, which is just very low. Yeah, I guess that was another instance where Galeforce was very useful. I actually don't need to see Vayne in order to use this item. So I messed up pretty badly there in that fight, but because, you know, Galeforce just targets the champion for you. I'll say that the only problem is that I actually can't get my 5th stack yet. Currently at 4 stacks, my item cooldown for Galeforce is at like 62 seconds or something like that, so maybe I actually lied when it came to the item TDR. Maybe it's not 45 seconds, it's probably closer to like 50 seconds by the time we have all 5 stacks, which I think it's still pretty good. We're gonna be able to have a playmaking active item every minute or so. Oh wow. I mean, I guess we almost lost, but we managed to survive somehow, or maybe we don't even survive. Oh, we do. Okay, nice. So there's still hope. I mean, we're trying our best this game, but our team comp is just too gapped. I mean, we have AP Kai'Sa top, we have AP Protobelt Zeri mid, and we have an AP jungler, AP Lux, so I am the only AD in the game. I mean, the enemy aren't building MR, but it feels like my team just doesn't really do much. I don't know what they are cooking, but they are cooking something. But it is PBE, so like, it is whatever. I would say that for my last item, I definitely wanted Death Stance. They have so much burst, and most of them are AD, so I'm just gonna go Death Stance. So Bloodthirster is currently giving me 35 AD as long as I stay above 50% health. And with this build at these items, I currently have 407 AD. And so I still haven't touched a Nocturne yet because like he hasn't been on my screen for a while now, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm sure by the end of this game, we'll get to the 5th stack. It doesn't seem like they're pushing bots, so I might as well just defend mid. I don't want to take this fight yet. I want to wait for them to group up so I can actually test my damage on AoE. Actually, I'm just going to ambush them here in case they want to do Baron. There's a Vayne coming. Yeah, hopefully it's not warded. Okay, it looks like it is warded actually. Because the Vayne... Okay. And yeah, because the Vayne walked away, it makes me think that the bush was actually warded. Okay. So nice, I can still 2 squat. God. Okay, I was just gonna say I can still 2-shot champions like Vayne with this build. Really scared that theirs will backdoor though. It seems like it doesn't want to. But yeah, 3,600 on our Galeforce, I think that's not bad at all. It's like heavily outperforming the old Galeforce. And that is with us still not having our 5th stack, which is Nocturne. Which is actually just crazy to me. Like, he hasn't ulted me a single time this game. I really haven't seen him, but I'm sure I can one-shot him. So now we go Death Stance, buy a pot. Hopefully they can't backdoor before our inhib respawns. I'm just gonna drop a blue ward here. Okay, so our inhibs are respawning. It's gonna be really hard for them to backdoor. I think that I can 1v5 now, but I'm actually not sure because they have Pantheon CC, which can just they can just one-shot me. So I'm gonna look for a play here. Okay. That's pretty unlucky. The full on-hit cat had a stopwatch, so I didn't get to one-shot her. I think it's nice to see that my teammates were able to find a fight though. I assume it's a good fight because we got 2. Still have to be careful of the enemy backdoor though. So yeah, now we have 4,133 damage on our Galeforce. Nocturne ults again. Oh, okay, so... Okay, so I'll be up, so I don't think they can end the game, but that's pretty bad for us. I'm gonna have to defend solo against 3 people. Still haven't gotten our 5th stack yet. I hope to see this Nocturne soon without him one-shotting me. I can only survive against him if I have my W up, which I didn't. Okay, they got Baron. You know, maybe I shouldn't go for this Ezreal anymore because he's honestly... Okay, like, he does damage, but he's not the biggest threat. I shouldn't just... Actually, well, he's just walking up, so... Like, I know the moment I go into this Ezreal, their Nocturne will show up, so I have to somehow kill this Ezreal without using my W. And then I have to kill the Nocturne before his fear goes through. So, I don't know what's going on. But maybe if someone walks through here, I can do a little sneaky ult on them. Actually, this looks okay. Okay. The Nocturne ulting in after I don't have W is just really bad. Like, he's so fed. Oh. It looks like they got it. Nice. I'm pretty sure we can end. Well, we have 20 seconds if my teammates just walk to... Okay, I guess my Zeri wants to play longer, you know, experience his little AP build more. So now I don't think I need the steel caps anymore. I just have too much gold to spend. it might be better if I just buy a GA, I'd say. And then, you know, refresh my red pot. Still haven't gotten that 5th stack. This Nocturne is just a bane of my existence, I guess. But now that we have GA, it might help us. You know, we can probably live long enough so that our teammates actually get to us before Nocturne one-shots us. But ideally, I still do not want to be spending everything on the rest of their team. I run a bit slow too now. Okay. Didn't walk in enough. I mean, we're in a better spot. I just need my teammates to like not run it down. Only problem is I am very slow in terms of movement speed. So I will definitely want to wait for my ghost is up before I start wandering into a fight again. Oh, Pantheon. Okay. I don't know, at this point farming is pretty useless for me, but I want to just deny the enemy the farm. Oh, okay, nice. Nocturne uses ult, so maybe it's safe for me to go in now. Where are they? There they are. No. Okay, nice. Ezreal's dead. It's a Katarina's dead as well. You know, I am not sure if my Lux and Zeri can defend against the Pantheon, but like surely they can. Because if they can, I can end the game. Okay, Pantheon's not even going for it, so I can just kill him at their base. I think the game's over. I think we won. You know, if only I can get to the base faster with my 364 movement speed. It's like I have tier 1 boots for now, and not even magical footwear boots. Yeah, I can just one-shot this guy. Yep, just like that. Vayne is up, but it should be fine. I can just end this game before she even... Okay, maybe not. Just Q auto, Q auto. Okay, nice. We ended the game. Oh my god, this game was actually so impossible, but we did it.